Life is dull, it's nothing but one big lull. Then presto, you do a skull and find that you're reeling. She sighs and you're feeling like the toy on a string. And your heart goes ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding.
Rumors have surfaced that Top's hotel owner Benny has taken yet another unexpected leave of absence. We spoke to his right-hand man this morning.
Leave of absence.
Penthouse floor.
Yeah, more like running for his miserable life.
Have a nice day.
Hey, you stay right where you are, buddy. Anyways, news travels fast here on the strip. I'd be more impressed if they actually bothered to report who was responsible. But then again, it's early days. Soon my name will be known far and wide as he who shall not be fucked with. Isn't that right, Mr. House?
Events have transpired in a less than optimal fashion. Benny has fled the strip and the platinum chip has not been recovered.
Less than optimal for you, maybe. Things are looking pretty good for me. Benny is crapping himself and I'm gonna have the time of my life tracking him down again. Yeah, now would be a good time for you to understand this. I'm not working for you. My goals just happen to overlap with yours for the time being. But don't worry, I already know where the fucker is running to.
His destination is hardly a mystery. It's a near certainty that he's making his way for Caesar's camp at Fortification Hill. It's one of just 2 places on Earth that have the hardware necessary to read the platinum chip. The Lucky 38 is the other, of course.
And of course, you want me to head there too, right? Well, in case you didn't know, the Legion and I have a complicated relationship. You know how it is. We meet unexpectedly, have a lovely conversation, exchange contact details, and before you know it, I'm fucking them every time we bump into each other.
I won't lie to you. It'll be dangerous. The next step will require you to infiltrate Caesar's camp at Fortification Hill.
That's right. And get this, you were going to send me there anyways, knowing perfectly well how many guns, knives, and skirt-wearing fuckwits are in the way. When exactly did you plan on telling me about that little detail? This would be the small print on the contract that I never even signed, correct? Well, lucky for you, I've been invited to have a chat with Caesar himself. Throw in the bonus and I might even take him out for you.
Absolutely not. Caesar is of great use to me. I don't want you harming a hair on that man's head, assuming you could find one.
Seriously, you want to use a bunch of slaving degenerates as part of your plan? Ha! I'm starting to see where Benny got his stupid ideas from. Well, just so you know, Caesar and his boys might not leave me much of a choice. And once I'm there, then what?
I want you to open a hatch in the basement of the derelict weather station atop Fortification Hill. You'll recognize it on sight. The hatch bears the logo of the Lucky 38, same as the platinum chip.
And what am I supposed to do? Sprinkle it with fresh Legion blood and body parts as an offering? I'm assuming that's how I open it.
You can't, but the chip can. The hatch will recognize the platinum chip and open sesame.
Ah, I would have preferred the other option. It would fit with my usual MO. So what the hell is in that place anyway? It must require a lot of space if it's inside a hill. Is it a giant robot? Don't ask me where I'm getting that idea from. Just tell me what's in there.
Something very important. I wouldn't want to spoil the surprise, so don't bother asking.
That would be another part of the small print, right? I swear to God, if this turns out to be some kind of pre-war Guardian programmed to kill any trespassers, then I'm just gonna terminate this contract. And besides, I don't think it's any secret at this point that Benny tried to turn me against you with copious amounts of money. Tell me I made the right choice by declining his offer.
I'm not offering you an incentive as crude as money, though there'll be plenty of that. What I'm offering you is a ground floor opportunity in the most important enterprise on Earth. What I'm offering is a future. For you, and for what remains of the human race.
Hey, you can stop with the vague hyperbole. You're not negotiating a business contract here. And besides, I've seen what remains of the human race, and I'm not impressed so far. But what do I care? As long as you don't pull what Benny did and send hitmen after me, then I'm happy. Just make sure your wallet is as deep as you say it is. Anything else I should know?
I expect that if Benny doesn't have the chip, Caesar will make sure you get it. More on that later. Be off.
Wait, how can you be sure about that? If anything, Caesar will probably ransom that thing if he realizes how valuable it is. But then again, we are talking about a despot imitating a dead civilization. I'm not expecting him to make much sense. Honestly, what is it with people these days imitating remnants of history? We've got the Legion pretending to be Romans, the Chairman pretending to be Mafia gangsters, and I assume the Great Khans are pretending to be Mongols. At least Jason Bright and his followers were trying something original, even if it was utter nonsense. Hey Victor.
Where to, partner?
Just take me to ground level, please. I need to think. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't get too far involved in this whole mess.
Casino floor?
Yeah, Benny has a point about this whole thing being a game. It's like everyone's playing a game of blackjack on a massive scale. Except when you lose a hand, you die. And perhaps literally losing a hand in the process. It's not a family-friendly game, that's for sure. I don't know, just come with me for now. Yeah, even House himself isn't actually the dealer of the house. He might think he is, but we know better, don't we, Eddie? The question is, should we be playing as well? Or better yet, is there a way for us to cheat and steal all the money while they're still playing? It's the age-old question, to be a scumbag or not to be a scumbag. I think we can squeeze out a fortune or two if we play these guys against each other, just like a real politician would.
Excuse me, but are you the courier who caused all of that trouble in the tops?
Holy crap, the news guy off the radio doesn't know about me, but a random person off the street does? What is going on here? No, seriously, that was an actual question. What's going on here?
Oh, well, we heard, we meaning the followers of the apocalypse, that you had been in there. The Lucky 38, and we were wondering if you could help us. If it's not too much trouble, of course.
Oh, it's you guys again. I have to say, of all the factions I've met so far, you are the last group I expected to keep tabs on me, and yet here we are. If there's a conspiracy going on here, you are doing a bad job at hiding it. How did you even get past the extortionate entrance fee?
This is important enough to the followers that we scraped together the caps required for the credit check. And I'm staying at Vault 21, which is pretty cheap, for the strip anyway.
And you haven't lost all of your money to the casinos yet? Wow, you sure are professional. Well, I've met your leader already, and this is hardly the first time I've been oh so generous with you guys. Spit it out then, what do you need?
Oh, great. The followers of the apocalypse, well, some of us anyway, have been interested in Mr. House's technology, how he stays alive. Of course, no one else is allowed inside the Lucky 38, so no one knows what's going on. Well, except for you.
Oh, I see. You're trying to play the compliment card, right? Well, consider yourself lucky that I'm in the mood tonight.
Right. We just want to find out what sort of technology Mr. House has used to stay alive for all these years. It could be of great benefit to the people we try to help, many of whom suffer from hard-to-diagnose illnesses.
How do you know he's even alive to begin with? Honestly, I've already done some favors for him, and all I've seen so far is a gigantic monitor screen that might be big enough to accurately display his ego. But hey, you're the scientist with all the statistics. I just hope you haven't forgotten the important one that comes with hiring someone like me.
Ah, I see. I suppose I can give you some medical supplies for your efforts. I assure you they will be worth plenty of caps.
And congratulations, you just proved yourself to be one of the smarter individuals I've met recently. I'd be happy to help finding cures for the sick and whoever else you feel like mentioning.
Great! I'll have the medical supplies for you by the time you come back. Here, take this packet sniffer. It'll allow us to intercept data on Mr. House's network. You might have to manually remove the encryption from his data network, but hopefully you won't have too much trouble. Good luck.
Ah, yes, another successful transaction. Who, Victor? Nah, I've been talking shit about House in front of him for ages now, and he hasn't ratted me out yet. Isn't that so, Victor? We're cool, right? I mean, this will be a good way to test House's security measures. He should consider this a service. Besides, if he's really capable of directly using the Securitrons as his eyes and ears, then he would have been listening to us from the beginning. And judging by how these guys are literally watching us and not doing anything, I'd say he either doesn't know or he doesn't care. And if it's the latter, then he sure is confident in his security measures. All the more reason to test them, right? Now, make yourself useful and scan the place. Let me know where to look at least. I have to say, it's a shame House kept this casino section locked down. This place looks pretty classy. Maybe he plans to open it up to the public once everything settles down. That's assuming he gets his way, of course. Well, I guess I'm on the right side of the building at least. But as I was saying, the problem with people like House is that they're way too sure of themselves. They're so blinded by the possibilities they can't imagine an outcome where they're not the winners. And this here is the perfect metaphor. People coming to exchange their hard-earned cash for casino chips are so focused on what's on the other side of this barrier, they're willing to throw away everything just for a chance to grab it all. Their savings, their dignity, a combination of both, maybe their spouse if they have one. I bet that's where that Gomorrah place gets most of their women. And surprise, surprise, when shit hit the fan, nobody even bothered to empty this place out for cash. At the end of the day, all we've got in here are stacks of fancy firewood. Frankly, those cartons of cigarettes would be more desirable. Not for me, of course. I don't smoke. I don't hate myself enough for that. Oh, it's upstairs? Well, you could have told me that sooner. Bottom line is, I want to be filthy rich as much as the next guy, but given a choice, I'd rather be remembered. At the rate I'm going, I'm gonna have to pull off something really spectacular to become a household name. Look at the Vault Dweller or the Chosen One. Those two had to set off fucking nukes in order to get into the halls of glory. Maybe I could blow a Hoover Dam or something. That'll piss off everybody, but hey, at least they won't be able to fight over it anymore. I'm a peacekeeper, that's what I am. So that's the terminal? Why is this even on? Nobody's gonna use this. In fact, why is anything switched on here? If you're gonna show off, at least do it when there's someone else around. I guess I'm just gonna attach this to the side. I love how that lady just assumed I'd known exactly how to use this. Well, I am good, but that's irresponsible on her part. What if I accidentally delete all the data or download footage of House and his girls having a private session? Someone would lose their lunch, that's for sure. In any case, I'm still not convinced House is actually a person. I mean, sure, I don't know what kind of technology he's got in this place, but it's been 200 years. What the hell was he doing all this time? How much entertainment can he get out of his robots? Well, I guess the better question is, how much lubricant did he stock up before the bombs fell? For the sake of my sanity, I'm gonna assume he's got stasis technology as well. This is why I'm not a scientist. I can't handle the weirdness. Okay, Victor, I think you know perfectly well what's going on here. So if you're gonna stop me, now would be the time. No? Alright then, suit yourself.
Hey, have you been able to bug Mr. House's network yet?
I don't know. I just threw that gizmo at the nearest terminal I could find. This is why you should have supplied me with a manual. Unlike a lot of people, I actually read that stuff.
Good to hear. But it looks like the bug was deactivated a few minutes after it went online. It looks like House has some kind of countermeasure in place to prevent eavesdropping on his network. We'll get through eventually, just not today. Here are those medical supplies I promised. Hopefully you won't need to use them. Take care.
Wait a minute, are you telling me that was a complete waste of time? I wasn't exactly on the edge of my seat to find out the results, but give me something to think about at least. Seriously, is that guy a robot or not? That's gonna have some serious effects on my working relationship.
Oh, hi. Thanks again for helping us with that data. I mean, the feed only lasted about 30 seconds, and it's not that useful, but, well, we tried.
Hey, you can learn a lot in 30 seconds. I mean, it takes less than that for me to learn whether a bullet in the eye is gonna kill a gecko or just piss it off.
We were connected for half a minute and received enough data to fill 5 holodisks. It looked like nonsense at first, but we decoded it. It was all biometric data, life signs from Mr. House. The technology he's using is so advanced that it samples data hundreds of times per second. It's fascinating, but depressing. Whatever technology he has can't possibly be practical for the people out here.
So you're telling me he really is a living person? Wow, I sure hope he moisturizes. Honestly, I'm not surprised you didn't get anything else. You've been telling me all of this right next to Mr. Heavily Armed and Rusty over here. No wonder House disabled your bug so quickly. Next time, try to be more discreet.
After 2 tries, I think I've learned enough. I'm sure there's something more promising I could be helping the other followers with. Oh yeah. I didn't tell you about the first time. I'd rather not talk about it if you don't mind.
Why? Was it somehow even more embarrassingly mediocre? I think I deserve to have my curiosity satisfied at least.
True. Alright. The first try was a little less professional.
Really?
Someone important on the strip had access to some of House's technology. Specifically, a Securitron. And more specifically, the someone was Benny.
What?
I know. He shot you in the head and everything. But this was a while ago. I knew he was sleazy, but I didn't realize he was so cold-blooded.
You were the follower who helped him? Oh my goodness. Count your lucky stars that I'm not the sort of guy who holds a grudge against people who indirectly crossed me. I don't suppose he bothered to tell you where he got that thing or what he was planning to do with it.
He sure didn't. Benny was pretty tight-lipped and cryptic about the thing. But he did let me poke around in it for a while. I wound up helping Benny a lot more than he helped me. Once he had access to the Securitron's memory banks, he kicked me out of the tops. Big surprise, right? Should have seen that coming.
And yet you went ahead and did it anyway. I thought you scientist types were supposed to be smarter than the rest of us. Unless, of course, there was something else going on. Did something happen between you two? He didn't bribe you with free drinks at the private suite, did he?
Ugh, so gross. It was bad enough that I didn't get any data out of the Securitron. This is why I didn't want to talk about it. It only happened once. I chalk it up to sleep deprivation and one atomic cocktail too many.
So in other words, he did exactly what I said he would do. Well, consider yourself lucky. At least he didn't shoot you in the head after you were done messing around with that oversized television.
The Securitron was disabled somehow. Might have been an EMP given some of the damage I saw. Anyway, he wanted it re-enabled and connected to Mr. House's data network. The trick was getting it to be invisible on the network. If Mr. House detects a rogue Securitron in his system, he remotely fries it. Getting around that security feature was a bit tricky.
And now that we've talked about it in public like this, he's definitely gonna fry it. Well, I guess neither of us gave a shit about Benny's big plan, huh? To be honest, I'm surprised you haven't tried using Benny's behavior to your advantage. Dirt like that could get you a lot of favors around here.
Yeah, strange as it sounds, I figured that bad-mouthing one of the Strip's most powerful people wasn't a good idea. The only reason why I'm telling you any of this is because he's gone now.
I'm pretty sure the followers' conspiracy can take care of that. Oh, I'm sorry, am I not supposed to mention it? Don't worry, save your breath, you don't have to deny it. I understand everything. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have an appointment. Do yourself a favor and leave the Strip. If House wasn't suspicious about you before, he certainly will be now.
See you when I see you.
Sure, preferably not here though. Unlike me, you mean nothing to House. And one of the perks of having a robot army is that they're not gonna question shit. Behind those cartoon faces lies the very definition of not giving a fuck. Something tells me they don't have the same sort of programming as my little friend here, and I've seen him frying people to a crisp. What the hell do you think these guys are gonna do to you? And that was a public service announcement brought to you by the Courier. Remember kids, don't break the law, especially when it's enforced by robots. And speaking of crimes, it would be a crime against comedians and tourists all over the Strip if I let this guy keep doing what he's doing.
Hey, come on, pal, I'm trying to put on a show here. You're welcome.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I would be inconveniencing such a large audience. I'll just stand over here and wait for you to close your imaginary curtains, shall I?
All right, then make it snappy, kid. This isn't exactly a lucrative career enterprise here.
Is it not? But you have such a large audience, right? I mean, you are performing outside, so I guess technically the whole world is your audience if you can shout loud enough. Honestly, what is it with comedians in this region? Who the hell do you think you are?
The name's Knight, Billy Knight. And this here's what a lifelong career in comedy will get you, oi?
On the side of the street, telling jokes you wrote down 2 minutes ago.
That's exactly my point, kid. Exactly my point!
Well, at least you're self-aware. That's better than Hadrian, at least. But seriously, you must have realized you were going nowhere years ago. How long have you been doing this?
If you believe my mother since she first laid eyes on me, first thing she said was, boy, that's a funny-looking kid. I guess I got a face only a mother could love, because no one else would give me the time of day. Hey, maybe you can help me. See, I can never tell when it's lunchtime.
Well, I think I know why your only audience is that Securitron over there. It's because robots like him don't have a sense of humor. Good thing too. Otherwise, with the kind of jokes you've been telling, he would have shot you by now. That's the risk of working the street, I'm afraid to say.
Hey now, come on. I prefer the term outdoor entertainment bonanza. Besides, have you seen the caps whores make in this town? I should be so lucky.
Then put some more effort into your material and maybe one day you'll earn just as much. Although, to be honest, I'm surprised you make any money. You didn't even put a hat on the ground for people to throw caps into. Tell you what, take this card and go to the Tops. Speak to Tommy Torrini. I think they're so desperate for acts they might actually hire you.
Yeah? Hey, you're all right. Tell them I'll do it for 100 a night. No, 50. No, 20. 10. Just don't rob me, I'll do it.
Whoa there, two things. First, I'm not getting paid to negotiate on your behalf. And two, don't you dare settle for that amount. I'm earning a percentage-based commission here. If you act like a pushover, they're gonna make your life hell. That's the entertainment business for you.
Whoa, geez, what was I thinking? You're right. I gotta go in there with a cool head, tell them how much I'm really worth.
Oh, and don't forget to tell them who set up the deal. Jesus, that guy's fast. Well, I guess that's what desperation looks like. Honestly, I don't expect him to last more than a week in there, but that's hardly my problem. And who knows, maybe he'll repeat old Ben's story and get kicked out. It wouldn't be the first time a man got in trouble when he couldn't control his genitals. He'll make a reputation, that's for sure. This is not what I meant when I said get out of Benny's suite, man. Find somewhere more discreet. Ah, shit. House is gonna wipe him, isn't he? Oh well, easy come, easy go. I wasn't exactly keen on the idea of starting a revolution all by myself anyway. That shit is expensive. You need some serious capital to do that. Yeah, I know you're probably up for it, but something tells me Boone wouldn't be too happy with that idea. That would just leave me with Veronica and Cass, and I'm not sure Cass would be that supportive either. Or you know, we are not in a position to try something like that just yet. So I guess it's a complete coincidence that the NCR Embassy is stuck in what is basically the back alley portion of the strip. House is really not as subtle as you think he is. Having fun there, soldier? I know your friends are. Who did you piss off to get assigned to this shift? God, you guys look like zombies. Come on, we're on the strip for goodness sake. Trust the NCR to make even this place feel depressing. God knows what they would do to the rest of the strip if they took over. Instead of a credit check, you just have to pledge your allegiance to the motherland and sign up for the military. Oh yeah, count me in. The casinos back in California might actually get their customers back if they did that. Oh my god, this place is depressing. Can we have some better lighting in here?
Welcome to the NCR Embassy. How can I help you?
Yeah, I have an appointment with the ambassador. Hopefully a very short one so that I don't lose too much of my soul in here.
Ambassador Crocker can be found in his office through the door to my right and at the end of the hall.
Thanks. Can I just say your outfit is the most interesting thing I've seen in here so far, and it really doesn't match your mannerism. Are you all this depressed? I bet this place has an insane staff turnover rate.
The embassy offices are to your left, while the barracks and living quarters are to the right. If you're looking for a history lesson, I suggest you talk to Ambassador Crocker.
Well, that's one way to tell someone to piss off. I'll keep that in mind.
Sir?
Well, you have to give her credit for staying professional. I bet she's the work hard, play hard type. What are the chances we're gonna find her completely stone drunk and running through the streets naked once her shift is over? You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
What is it?
Hey, don't play dumb with me. I bet you guys shoot up on all kinds of shit after hours. It's probably the only way to keep yourself sane in this working environment. Plus, nobody's gonna think twice about someone high on jet around here. It's the strip, for goodness sake. That's practically mild. Ding dong. Can the ambassador come out and play? Oh, I'm sorry. Was I supposed to knock first? Well, tough shit, pal. This is what you get with VIPs like me.
I'm glad you could make it. I have something I wanted to discuss with you. It's a very important matter, and I have a strong feeling you're the perfect person for the job.
Wow, you're just gonna take that and not even try to retort? Impressive. You must have a hell of a time talking to some of the wackos around here. I guess that's why you're the ambassador. Alright then, let's make this quick for both of us. What do you want?
I'm sure you've noticed that things are a little tense around here with all the issues between the NCR, the Legion, and Mr. House. It doesn't take a genius to see that something big is going to happen soon. To be honest with you, the NCR is in a tight spot. But if we fail now, it's the people here that are going to suffer the most. I'm not willing to let that happen, and I don't think you're the kind of person that would either.
Whoa there! You're not king of the mountain yet, and you're already speaking on behalf of the people? Jesus! And I thought House was arrogant. Well, you're right about the NCR being in a tight spot. It's because of this kind of attitude. And after all that, you still need people like me. Now stop wasting my time and tell me what's the job.
To the northeast is a settlement. The locals here call them boomers. They are sitting on a munitions stockpile that would be invaluable to us. I would like you to get in contact with them, and then do whatever it takes to convince them to help us. Unfortunately, the boomers keep to themselves and are, let's say, hostile to all outsiders. That's why I need someone like you. Someone with your background and reputation would have a better chance of reaching them than anyone I have available. In exchange for your help, you would receive complete amnesty for any past crimes against the NCR, as well as additional benefits and perks. Do you think you would be able to do this for me?
Past crimes against the NCR? Are you shitting me? Do you have any idea at all what I've done for you guys? The prison, Nelson, Helio's wife, Macaria, those are just the highlights. You have the nerve to suggest that I'm a criminal? I take back what I said. You are a terrible ambassador. In fact, I'll take that job just to show you how to do yours.
Much appreciated. Once you've talked to them, come back and let me know if they will help us.
And now you've gone back to professional mode. I'm starting to think you guys genuinely believe that I'm somehow automatically obliged to help the NCR. That would actually make a lot of sense. Well, I'm sure I'll keep this in mind.
Goodbye.
Oh, we're done here, are we? Thank God, that painting on the wall was starting to creep me out. If we stayed any longer, I would be using it as a dartboard. How's that for a crime? And just so you know, beating you at your own game is all well and good, but I do expect to get paid for this. As if you expected anything else. Stop staring at me.